But let's move on to talk about what has been, well, a mixed week in Europe in terms of the Champions League for Arsenal, and of course a very good week if you're a Tottenham or Manchester United fan, because of course they are going to meet in the Europa League final, Chelsea through to the Conference League final. We pretty much expected that. But Bodie, let's begin by talking about Arsenal and that second tie away to PSG, which they lost in the end by 2-1, 3-1 on aggregates. Whatever Mikel Arteta might have said in the days subsequently from that, over the course of the two legs, they were beaten by the better side, weren't they?
Yeah, I would say so. And I think whoever goes through is obviously the better team side. I think we get sometimes carried away, especially nowadays, in terms of when you look at the numbers and everybody can crunch them together and try and put a positive spin on it. The only thing that matters is the end result, and PSG are going to Munich for the final. I mean, there's no doubt that Arsenal had moments over the two legs, but I thought for 20-25 minutes at the Emirates, PSG controlled the game. And Arsenal started really well in Paris, but when they never got that goal early, you felt as if it was only a matter of PSG scoring. That's exactly what happened. Yes, it took a deflection, and Mikel Arteta and Arsenal won't be happy about that, but I think for PSG, they're an outstanding team. The way that they go about their business defensively, but then the transition as well, really, really quick. And I think even what Mikel Arteta has been speaking about after that and saying they're the best team in the tournament, I don't really know where he's getting these numbers from, because even if you look at the majority of, if you go right down through the stats, Arsenal ain't at the top of many of them. I'm not quite sure where he's pulling these numbers from. I get that he needs to put a positive spin on it. I get that he will be happy that his team have went out of Europe, but when you look at overall, they're not at the level that everybody. They're not at the level that Mikel Arteta spoke about after the match.
Clinton, listen, in terms of them being back in the Champions League, it's very much for them. They're in their infancy stage for this particular team. You look at City, how long it took them to finally win the Champions League, having been in it for so many seasons. But he continually talks about how close they are to converting their league position into a title, turning these runs into an eventual trophy. But at the moment, they potentially may not finish the season even second. Man City could equal them on points today, and who knows how the rest of the season then plays out with 2 more games to go after this weekend. Is that we're close going to start to wear a little bit thin?
100%. They were close 2 seasons ago. They haven't been close this season, and this was the best opportunity for them to maybe challenge the likes of Liverpool. And I know Man City, all these teams were in the contest at the start of the season, and obviously they've had disappointing seasons. Liverpool have been the better team. This was the best, I think, season, an opportunity for Arsenal to do that. I think Mikel Arteta, and Bodie's right, he's coming out and saying about the stats. I don't care about stats in football. Stats don't win you football matches. It's about putting the ball in the back of the net, and results win you football matches. That's what it's about, and they haven't done that. They didn't do it against PSG. PSG played it brilliantly. Yeah, Donnarumma in the second.
He was unbelievable.
Outstanding. He's been brilliant. He was even brilliant against Aston Villa. I thought he was brilliant, magnificent in the second leg. But he's coming under pressure. So as a manager, you will come out and start saying stuff to defend your team for sure. But yeah, there'll be question marks.
You think there's a chance of Mikel Arteta losing his job?
No, I don't think he'll lose his job. I think they'll back him again in the summer, but I think next season is a big season. They have to win.
The pressure to get it right this summer.
Of course it is.
Get that striker in, the right striker.
And get the right.
Cut us some slack domestically this season, though, in terms of the league for me, because I think the last few weeks, and I know everybody, we've been saying here for ages that Liverpool are going to win the league. They've put all their eggs in the one basket of trying to get the Champions League, and that's where they've dropped off.
Why are you cutting them slack at the? No, at the start of the season, he should have been chasing them down. If Man City fall off, then you're the next best team that think you should go on and win it. That's when I will cut them slack over the last month or so, because they've been concentrating on the
and that's where they've dropped the majority of the
points.
points.
That's where they dropped most of the points. But at the start of the season, during the season, been nowhere near good enough. And Liverpool have been the better team. So, yeah, as I said, I agreed with a lot what Bodie said. But the question marks will come over Mikel Arteta. But I still think he'll be there next season. But he needs to win stuff, because Arsenal fans will get frustrated.